So today on Project Shop, we have a little bit of romex in here and a bunch of different kinds. There's actually a few more styles, or actually some thicker stuff, but we got a good little variety here, and we're gonna see if it's actually worth stripping. Now, I get $1.90 a pound for romex as it is. Most of the time, if I don't have a lot of romex, I'll throw it in with the #1 insulated, which is $1.45 a pound, and not mess with it. This is a little bit more than I want to throw in there. They don't like to see too much of it in there. They'll take some, but you know, you don't want to piss your guys off. So what I've done is kind of separate it into a couple different groups. We have 3-wire yellow, okay, at 209, okay. So I tried to keep these right around 2 pounds, because if it's not worth it, we don't want to be stripping more and lose money. But for the sake of the video, we'll do 2 pounds of each different style. This one, white wire, I believe this is 4-wire white, 220, 2.20, that's what we got written down here. Then we have this round, I believe that's a 4-wire, 2.09. Then we have some crusty, old school at 2.31. Is that what I have on here? Yeah, 2.31. And then we have this really big stuff right here. Now, I'm pretty certain this is going to be thick enough. It's going to be worth it. I don't know. It is like double insulated though. And I wrapped it up a little bit. We got 24.24. Now, since I did wrap that, I'm not going to strip that with it. I deducted I minus the 0.2 down to a 0.14. Just so we're fair. And we're going to see if we're just going to sell this off as romex, or if we're actually going to make a little bit of money stripping it. Okay, we're going to just start right here with this white 4-wire romex. Now, my machine actually has romex slots, okay, here and here. Now, someone had this machine apart, and they did not put the other roller back on the machine, so we can actually only use this slot. But this side over here, you're supposed to be able to run this through in one pass and have it squeeze it so hard that it just squeezes it and strips it that way. We're going to run it through this blade. One of the only things I don't like about this machine. Sometimes, and usually it only happens right here, when you hit that first roller, it'll actually put a curl in the wire like that. It'll curl it up and start coming up through here. That's actually why this machine has no guards on the top, because that was happening a lot. And after the first time I took the guards off, that they never went back on, basically. get like a better accuracy, I probably should have stripped about 10 pounds of this, but it ain't worth stripping. I don't want to be wasting my time, you know. So this little kink and whatnot, and the little sharp edge there. The romex strips better when it's flat. If it's flipped back and forth and you run it through the blade, or even the flat roller where it just squeezes it, it kind of messes it up. So it's better to actually run, you know, straighten it out the best you can before you run it. Okay, moment of truth. Don't feel like we got anything in here. We got 1.43 pounds of bright and shiny. All right, let's try this round stuff. This is actually twisted up, kind of like BX cable. So the best bet with this, okay, of course, the GoPro got hot and shut off. Now, the best bet with this is going to be strip all the case and set this up in the vise and undo this that way. That's exactly what we're going to do, because that's a little tedious. We ain't got time for all that. So we'll strip it. Wire like this is the kind of stuff, if you had two people, it'd be way better. What you want to do is flatten these out, like get the ends separated for the most part. Stick them in the vise. Then you're going to take the ends, clean this crap off of it, and stick it in the drill. Now, this is exactly how I do BX cable, the aluminum armored wire. Chuck it up in the drill. Make sure it's tight, pull tight. And it'll straighten right out. This is actually wound in the opposite direction. You have to pay attention to which way they're wound. They go all different ways. Sometimes I've seen BX where it's round this way, and then there's another kink back in the other direction in there. As you can see, it straightens that stuff right out. And then what you want to do is the last step is actually bend that back up straight, so you're not trying to stick an angled thing. Usually, because this is the end you want to feed, because a lot of times you're going to have different lengths back here. It's easier to grab this end. We're actually going to do a new updated video on the BX. I did a video on hand stripping romex and BX and whatnot. If you were doing this, you'd be here all day. Trying to unwind this by hand. It's just a nightmare. If you are going to strip double insulated wire like that, you really got to be careful about over stripping it, like squeezing it too hard, because then it just makes it uncomfortable on the backside. You should just be able to run your hands through it and pull it like that. You should be able to grab a bunch of them at once and pull it out. If you keep it about 10 feet, you won't have that many problems with tangling. If you run this stuff 20 foot long, you're doing it by yourself, you're going to have a tangled mess back here, and it's going to make it a lot more tedious. But if you keep them short, you should be able to pull it out with one pull of your arm, you know? If you overcut it, you really can't be doing that, because you'll literally like slice your hand. Okay, that's it for that side. See what we got. .1 pound. All right. Let's move on to this crusty copper. About this wire, because this is extremely thin. This wire is kind of thicker. It's the thickest stuff yet, but not only is it rubber insulated, it had this paper wrapped around it. Now this is going to be interesting. Some of that I just let the machine pull the second bit right out of there. You are going to strip this. The main thing is to have a wire stripper that... Okay, these GoPros are literally almost making it impossible for me to make videos. They just keep getting hot and shutting off. So the crusty copper, 1.32 pounds. So it almost seems like, so far they're almost like a pound of it is the copper. All right, let's try this 3-wire yellow. Whoa! It's a little bit thicker copper here. Wow, it's about stripped in one pass. That actually did strip that in one pass. I ran it through again just to make it easy on me on the back side. That's how you should be pulling it out. And I did run that cardboard one through there too, just to kind of make it easy to clean that off. Okay, that actually feels a little heavier. Yeah, 1.43 pounds. All right, now we got the big stuff. Now this, I don't know if this is too big to chuck up in the drill, but I think this is spiraled stuff. We're going to cut that down into short pieces. Sometimes that makes life much easier than dealing with a bunch of long pieces that are just tangled up on everything. Okay, these GoPros love getting hot and shutting off. On that one, in the beginning, I had that thing cranked down for the first size, and I was just splintering the crap out of this wire. So it was like making needles. I had to put some gloves on. Let's see what we got. Oh, 12.89 pounds. So at first glance, it looks like literally the copper is half the weight. So I'm gonna run some numbers real quick, get some percentages, and we'll see if it's actually worth it. Did we make money? Did we lose money? Did we break even? I'm gonna get hydrated and we're gonna find out. Okay, here we go. We got a nice little breakdown. We had 32.83 pounds altogether. And at $1.90 a pound, if we would have just sold the stuff I stripped off, we would have got $62.37, okay? Now, the big wire, we had 24 pounds at $1.90 was worth $45.86. We had 12.89 pounds of copper, which was 53.9% at $3.45 a pound for $44.47. We actually lost $1.39. Okay, so that one there, I was almost certain that was going to be a little bit of money maker, but we lost $1 and then the time we had stripping it. So moving on, so the crusty wire, we had 2.31 pounds at $1.90 would have been $4.38. It was $1.90 pounds, 82.25% at $3.45, which would have been $6.55 for a gain of $2.17. Now that one there was, I don't know, man, that stuff there might be worth stripping. So for every pound, basically, you're gonna gain $1. We might have to strip the rest of it. I have a little bit there. That stuff actually had some thick wire in it. The 4-wire white wire, we had 2.2 pounds. $1.90 a pound would have been $4.18. 1.43, 65% copper. At $3.45, $4.93, we gained 75 cents. In my opinion, that's not worth the time to gain 75 cents over 2 pounds. I don't know, it depends on how much you got there. And then we had the round 209, 190, 397. That was 1.1, 52%. At $3.45 was $3.79. We actually lost 18 cents stripping that. The yellow wire, 209, 190, 397, 143, 68%, 345 a pound for 493 at a gain of 96 cents. So you're gaining like 40 something cents a pound. And then to finish it off, we had a total of 18 pounds of copper, 345, worth 64.68, and minus the 62.37 we would have gotten just selling it off, we made $2.31 stripping that. So some of the stuff you might gain a little bit, but some you're actually going to lose, because not only did we lose $1.39, we actually have to clean this shit up now, which is really shocking, because I would have thought this thicker wire would have been the best stuff. But unfortunately, there was a lot of insulation there. And apparently the old crusty wire is the best stuff to strip if you're going to strip it. So that's kind of crazy. So I guess Shark Scrapper was right when he said don't strip this wire. I usually don't. A lot of times I'll have a big bunch of insulated, #1 insulated. I'll just mix it in there with it and send it and get like over $2 a pound for it. But even at the $1.90 a pound, I will not be spending my time stripping this stuff. I'm just gonna buy it low, sell it high. So I hope we all learned something from this, which is don't be stripping romex. Now, there is some bigger, thicker yellow wire that I come across sometimes. Next time I get some of that, we'll do an update on it. But for now, we're just gonna be piling this stuff and selling it off. It really ain't worth the time and aggravation dealing with this stuff. Now, that's with my prices. So you really gotta look into what you could be getting at your yard. Oh, we forgot one. Hold on. We might have gained our $1.39. Let's see. You know what else is some scrapper told me this years ago, and I laughed when he told it to me, but let me know if you've ever heard this. Say if you have a big bunch of spaghetti wire or wire like that, right? And it's all opened up. He said if you take that wire and you bunch it down like this, right? Make it as small as you can compact it. He said it'll actually change the weight on the scale. I think that's an urban legend, but you know what? We should actually try that. Maybe I should smash some of this in my press and see if we can. I mean, that actually does kind of feel heavier. I don't know, but let's see if this actually weighs anything at all. If it would have changed our percentage. I mean, it don't even register on the scale. So I don't think it would have really mattered. We would have either lost $1 or we would have broken even. Either way, if you're not gaining a third, it ain't worth stripping, in my opinion. You better put your time somewhere else and just buy it as like, normally I buy this stuff as like #2 insulated at like $1 a pound. I think it's 90 cents a pound right now. What do we got? #2 insulated, 92 cents a pound right now. Okay, so if I'm buying it at 92 cents and I'm just selling it off, I'm gaining like, what's that, 98 cents a pound without touching it. You know, I'm okay with that. Or if I don't have a lot of it, I'll sneak it in with the #1 insulator. I got a whole barrel #1 over there. We might have enough. We can kind of mix it in. I mean, that's kind of a lot, but maybe we'll strip that brown stuff. If we're gaining, I mean, what'd we do? The crusty stuff, we gained a third. That was 82% recovery. That's crazy. Did I weigh that right? I'm second guessing myself. I want to do it again. You know what we can do? Hold on a second. So I have this Strip Tech Model 1000 right here. Okay, this thing is actually supposed to strip romex in one pass. We'll give it a shot. Yellow stuff, we made mine, we'll try that. We ain't gonna strip none of that white shit. Does a good job of opening that up. Okay. Tighter. Oh, look what happened. Now this machine is not designed to be this way. I just mounted it that way. Oh! Wow, this got so hot from that. Yeah, I mean, it's stripping it. One pass. Try some of that crusty copper. Oh. There we go. Well, it stripped those in one pass. Oh, they got it. One pass. Oh, no. It stripped it in one pass, but it's getting, that stuff is clogging it up. Should self-clean because one of those blades is actually spinning faster than the other. Alright. Enough messing around. It's not, I mean, we could strip all that stuff. Look, all that tar got all up in there. Yeah, the problem with this machine is it's supposed to be flipped this way, and I leaned it sideways to bolt it to the side here just to save space. This is a great machine. They still sell and make these. You can go to the website, Strip Tech, and it's like a $3,000 machine. I paid $500 for it. It'll strip literally everything you put in it. It's just a little slow. I mean, compared to that, it's, you know, slow as molasses, but if something happens to this machine, I'm not stuck or broke down. I could just set this machine up. It's a little slower, but it'll strip everything, and I can feed 2 wires at the same time in this. You know, I could put 2 500s at the same time in this. I've ran 4 spaghettis at the same time in this machine. You could just feed them in, because the roller is pretty much like from here to here is the same size. So once you have it dialed in, like these 3 holes, or even this 4th hole down here, I think, or maybe I stuck it in these 4 holes, I don't know. But you can, you know, do multiple penetrations at the same time, and it comes out, you know, sometimes with needles, the solid core is a little bit better than the stranded wire, but it is a decent machine, and it's a nice backup. Like sometimes when I have a lot of stuff, I'll, you know, if I got a guy back here or 2 guys back here, I can set this machine up to be stripping one size while I'm feeding them both, you know. Very rarely do I use this, because this machine over here is so fast, it's hard for me to even just keep up feeding it unless I'm running long runs. And normally I don't do long runs unless I got a person or 2 on the backside. So anyway, enough yapping. Stay tuned, because we are in the midst of a massive shop clean out. So if you come this far, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen a copper dance before? I am going to punch these out real quick. I just set these up in here and smacked them with a hammer and that bolt, and it drove them out. This is a nice chunk of copper, man, and it looks like silver coated.